Okay, so you have your first job, and you mentioned a little bit like, you got asked to come in a week early and stuff like that. But what was it like? And you know, I guess I'm asking like what skills you picked up on, but really kind of like life experiences or things that changed in terms of your mindset that you still have today that you didn't before your first job.
Yeah. So my first job was as an art PA for this independent project. This guy had written a pilot episode to this TV show he wanted to make. Um, so I was in the art department. It was a two-person art department. The designer, production designer, and me, the art PA. That's it. That's all it was. There was an art director.
Just like in a windowless room
Right.
with one board.
Yeah, I didn't. And I wasn't there for pre-production. I was hired immediately onto production to fill in for the art director that was fired or that was left. That's what happened. The art director left or was fired, and because I had reached out for the PA gig, I was already in contact with the designer, and she was just like, "Hey, can you come and just fill in?" Didn't realize I was filling in for the art director, basically, the second hand there. But they only credited me as PA, which is fine. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even read the script yet. I hadn't gotten the script when I showed up on set, so I had no idea. I don't know if I ever got the script. But it's a small independent thing. So there's not a lot of money. This was a passion project to the director, and what I learned on that job was that there's so many people doing this. So you'd be working next to someone who shot or who has worked on or shot like 15 projects or has been doing it for a couple of years, and then the other person next to you has not done anything. Just like it's just no matter who you are or what you are, the film set is full of people of different levels of skill. And I was nervous going in because I not worked on a real film set. I don't know if real is the right word, but not in like a paid production film set. I've worked on like school projects and school sets, smaller things that weren't paid production. But this is the first time it's like, oh, there's a producer paying people, they have a payroll accountant, this is like a thing, but then I realized, so I was nervous, but I realized when I got there, I think everyone's on an equal playing field, and you gotta realize you work your way up through the ranks and just be present and do things. I was told on that set, don't overachieve. Don't do something they didn't ask you to do, or don't rush. Just take your time on things. I don't think that's right. I mean, like, don't cost yourself. Don't work yourself till you pass out, but prove that you have a right to be there, that you know what you're doing, that you're a hard worker. Don't slide by, don't take the easy route. So even if also on film sets, there's a lot of times where you're just waiting for things. There's not much to do. Try to find something to do and try to help out where you can. Ask questions. That's a big challenge for me. I'm an introverted person naturally, despite what some people may think. I am that way. So it's hard for me to just ask questions, but people are usually okay with asking questions. They want to teach other people about what they do and how you can help them in the future. Really, they're just looking for someone they can work with in the future. So ask questions, meet people, be open to trying new things, and always be present and do a good job. Have a good work ethic. Is really
right.
Build work ethic and build those communication skills. Because that's what's gonna help you in the long run. And that's what I've taken from that job. I got really close to the designer. We had a good rapport, and that helped a lot in what we did. And really, just having a good rapport with who I work with is why I keep
Rapport.
getting. It's why I keep getting jobs. I don't know if I'm doing a good job. I just know I work well with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do what's asked of me, and I do a little more than what's asked of me occasionally. So just be a nice
Yeah.
person. That's the skill.
Right.
That's the skill. Be a nice person.
Right. Right. Yeah. Finding that. Yeah. I mean, it's strange, I guess, to people who are, they're like going to a very corporate environment, or it's like, you have your minimum wage jobs when you're in high school, where it's just kind of like, people are just like doing what the machine tells them. But yeah, it's very strange. It's like an emotional Wild West, in the sense where you kind of have to latch onto what is, where the vibes are, and but then also being a good worker, and showing interest in things. Yeah.
Being a good worker isn't necessarily knowing everything right off the bat. I don't know a lot of things still. It's just willing to do things and learn on the job. Because it's not like you need a degree to go into film work. Most people who work in film don't have a film school degree. I got one. I was lucky to get a film school degree, but it's not necessary at all. A lot of learning on the job, and you meeting people. It's all about meeting and just creating rapport with people. It's
Right.
great that I have it, and I'm so glad I have a film school degree. But it's not gonna make or break me getting a job like other careers might. So.